I'm Catherine, the creator of Shia and the Jetsons Community Preservation of the Promised Land. And let's talk about California, the Magic Island. Okay, now this is a story about me. I know that sounds, but you have to look at the movie Never Ending Story. If you don't look at the, now this book is by Doug Hansen. So now there's another book, a really wonderful book about me again. Now there's other women who claim to be the Queen Calafia, and they're right because there's many of us. So see now look at we're all over. We're all over in California. We're all over. Now I claim myself to be Queen Calafia with a new name. I'm Empress Kalafia, and this is dedicated to Isis Blue. Thank you, Isis Blue, for because I have people Dominique and Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren. I'm telling you now, Queen. Now this is Empress Calafia from California. Let's listen to what she has to read about, and it's true because we are still here. We have not died and went away. We are still here, and this is her book. Now, when you see these griffins here, now they don't tell you how this came about, but we spliced them. We splice. Now, why did we splice a hawk and a panther together? Why? Because they eat reptilians. They eat snakes. Okay, a hawk bird, and they're huge. So we would splice together something that would go against us. And this is who we were, you know, getting rid of. Now people will say, well, she has a reputation of killing men. No, she was killing snake people. Please understand that there's a difference between a Eve woman who is a reptilian, a whole reptilian in the Bible, she's a reptilian, and then a God woman who was just giving birth to men and women who were not snakes. Because there's Eve woman who was giving birth to snakes, who gave birth to Cain, who killed Abel. Because snake people kill. They kill and they give you and they bring the pain on you. And anyway, we spliced. We would do that. We would have a vehicle that we would fly that would kill our enemies, who would knock us off our thrones. Who would knock us off our thrones? Snake people, people that's disguised, that look like humans, like us, but they're really disguised as snake people. And what happened was, when you look at the movie Avatar, that really happened. We were living up on the trees. We were not living on the ground. When they cut the trees down and we failed, that's how we failed. When we failed, we came down on the snakes level. They were the snakes. Okay, the trees reached past the clouds. Okay, this right here was supposed to be in a tree, and she was supposed to be flying to a tree, not supposed to be on a tree stump. But since they cut it down, it's just proof that they cut down the trees that are all over. They look like mountains now. They were never mountains. They were huge trees that passed the clouds. Well, we lived on top of the trees. I mean, like castles in the trees. We had those. Like we lived in the trees. They were huge. Well, the snakes below, they were snake people, and they were when you see in the Bible, when you hear in the Bible, it's in the Bible, and it says, "I will exalt myself amongst men, and I would be like the Most High." Those were the snake people saying, if when we cut down these trees, the Most High people that lived in the trees, the castles in the sky, and all that, will fall, and we fell onto their level. And when we fell on their level, type in Vatican statues. You'll see lizards uh, squeezing us to death. They come from behind you, and you'll see a Moorish man, because they killed the Moorish men first. They took them over first. But anyway, when they did that, they went from behind the Moorish men and squeezed them to death and became the Moorish men, where men are mixed with the serpent seed and man. That's why you get mankind, kind of like a man, but not quite a man. So that's where you get, the word mankind from, because they're not a man. They're kind of like a man, but not quite a man. But this is the book. You can buy with confidence from Hertz Car Sales. Okay. From a standard warranty. I'm just really excited. Here.
Okay, boys and girls, listen. It's story time.
Story time.
So, today we're going to be reading part of California, the Magic Island. The story we're going to hear is all about Queen Kalafia and her magic island.
That's me.
Once upon a time, or maybe only
yesterday,
there was a
today.
magic island called California. The ruler of the island was, or still is, a fearless and beautiful queen named Kalafia.
Okay, now Calafia is me. I'm in California, and it's also women who are also in Florida. When you see any word term named Miami, means mommy, motherland. Chicago has mommy, Miami there too. That means motherland. So I was born in Chicago Heights, and you know, went to California because I know that's where somehow I'm connected to California. Now, when we talk about going from state to state, we're talking about we're not separate. We're all family tribes. I'm talking about people like Rod Hayes, Young Elder, Larry Hoover, Yee, Kyrie Irving. We're all connected. Now my Telegram women on Telegram, we are Queen Calafia because Florida connects to California. It connects, okay? And the reason why he says, well, maybe just today, Queen Calafia is like, once upon a time there was once, or maybe just today, a fierce woman. Well, we have not died. We just multiply. We multiply. So here is our book, Isis Blue. Thank you from Telegram, Dominique. Thank you. Please show my video. We must take back our land. We're going to confiscate our properties, but first we're talking about Queen Calafia. But we're going to confiscate our properties. I already sent this to Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. She has the proposal that we're going to confiscate our buildings, our homes where we live, so we won't have the snake people taking us over. This was what her rule was. Her rule was about getting rid of people who are disguised as human and they're not human. She spliced her vehicle that protected her. It eats snake type people. She went to war with these men that were disguised as humans like us. They could be Moors, because Moors go against the indigenous people. The indigenous people are Yee, Yeshua Pandera. Shout out for Yeshua Pandera. He been waiting for me to make my video. So, okay. So, yes, shout out to you, Yeshua Pandera Michael. He's the one that presented me out to continue to make the videos so we can tell the truth of what's going on. We have snake-like people that took over our land. They knocked the woman off her throne, which knocked off the God-man that Yee is talking about. When he's talking about Jew, he's talking about the original Jew people. There's no such thing as Jewish. You can't be a Jewish. Either you're pregnant or you're not. Either you're Jew or you're not. Well, we are the original Jew. We can only be the original Jew, but we're beyond that. We're beyond the Jew, okay? Don't have yourself on religion on what they said you are. You are beyond that. We flew in trees. We had animals that destroyed our enemies. It's a panther and a hawk together. So hawk eats snakes, bird eats snakes. Panthers eat snakes. Lions eat snakes. Snake people is what they ate. Disguised as because war had taken place in the 1830s. This is 1830s. This is not somewhere in... Now, they came here in the 1600s. That's why they can only go as far as 1690, because that's when they came here. The snake people from Greece, from Greek, the white people. They came here as a whole person, not no baby or nothing. They came here as whole terminators. And they were the medieval people that killed their own people. Well, they migrated and came into California. The original book here. I had the original book. Now, here. We'll get back to her in a minute. But first, let's look at this book right here. Is the original book that came from, that's derived from this book and this book. This is a really, really good book. It shows you maps and everything. Everything. I got the last book on Amazon. See, They came in. See, they came in and they knocked off they knocked me off my throne. That's why I say we have to, and we had wings. We have now. Remember now, Israel is next to Ireland. We're indigenous to Israel, Ireland. We're indigenous to North and South America. We're indigenous. We're indigenous here. This is our homeland. We're indigenous to America. Okay, so when you say, "Oh well, are we indigenous? Are we indigenous to Israel?" Yeah, we're indigenous to Ireland
An
too.
unforgettable vision of splendor in her royal robes and golden armor, with shining ornaments blazing in her black hair and pearls glowing against her dark skin. The Magic Island is Calafia's kingdom and the home of her warrior women. No men or outsiders are allowed there. hmm The women are like goddesses, stronger, more beautiful, and more skillful than any human. All are confident hunters and expert in capturing and training the wild griffins found there. If you've never heard of a griffin, imagine a creature with the head and wings of an eagle, but with the body and tail of a lion. Griffins are as ferocious as eagles and as brave as lions. No outsider knows the secret of how the warrior women tame the griffins or how they ride them on land and through the air.
Okay, now in the original book, I literally quit. I dropped out of college because of this book. I know, because I discovered this is the original book that they got in the library. And when I got this, I said, "Oh man, I'm from here." I said, "Oh," and because of college, it doesn't really tell you what you really need to know. So I just dropped out of college. I didn't want to go to college after I learned about this, about who I am. You see what I'm saying? You don't need to go to college after you know that they done stole your land. You have to get your land back. You have to confiscate the building that you're in. It's by law. 640 acres is yours. 640 acres is yours by the indigenous. Uh, they go by the dog rules right here. So you see, this is the Indian Affairs. Indian Affairs. They tell you right off back, you have to have your rules. Okay, well in the rules, because my last name is Irvin. Type in David Irvin. Ooh, why did I say David Irvin? I was going to get to him later, but that's the guy that says that the Holocaust never happened. And that 10 years ago, for 10 years they were saying, oh, we were killed, 6 million of us were killed. For 10 years you were saying that, and then all of us, you just wanted to steal Israel. So it never happened. So anyway, but type in him and then you can see the truth about that. But I know I just went on a tangent. Type in type in the not David Irving. That's the one that says the Holocaust never happened. The white guy with the blue eyes. Okay, not him, but it's another. Oh, Dancing Rabbit Creek. That's it. Damn. See, I have a lot on my mind, you guys. Okay, Dancing Rabbit Creek, 1830 Treaty Act of Dancing Rabbit Creek. 640 acres is to every Negro. Right here on your rules. See, you need to research the rules. It says it right here. United States only go by your rules. So on all of our rules, 640 acres is yours. If 640 acres is yours, then you have a right to confiscate the building that's doing you the most harm. Okay, so when I say I am the return of Queen Kalafia, because I'm going by her law, she destroys people that would destroy the good in all of us. See, we're good people, and we go by nature. And if you destroy us, then we have to fight back. We don't let nobody destroy us. Anyway, she spliced an animal, griffins, that she rode on, and they're still here, but they're in the inner earth. They're in the inner earth, and they're on planet Nibiru. Now, the snake people, reptilian people, they're terrified of planet Nibiru. Nibiru comes around to see if we're conscious. If we're not conscious, then it'll leave and it'll come back around. Well, when it comes around this time, it might just sit and land. And so the reptilians is terrified of planet Nibiru. Just remember that. Okay, so So she spliced animals that would kill the reptilian people that are amongst us, that removed us from our homes, telling us that, oh, well, you're anti this and anti that. Well, for one, we have to know that you're not supposed to be here. No white, Mexican, Chinese person that invaded our country is supposed to be here. So they don't have to worry about if we're anti this or anti that. They just have to get the fuck out of our country. That's all. Yeah, just leave our land because you're from Turkey. You're from Russia and Turkey. Every single white person in this country, when you call yourself Jewish when you're not Jewish. There's no such thing as that. Either you're Jew or you're not, and you're not Jewish. You're from Turkey, you're Slavic, you're from Yugoslavia. That's where every single white person is from this country. When they came here on Paul Revere's bloodline as creatures, snake people, crawling on all fours, and now they're wearing suit and ties telling you what to do. That's an abomination. We have to tell the truth now. Type in David Irving. I'll leave a link and let you see David Irving. Or another video I'll show you too about him letting you know that the Holocaust never happened. It never happened. They were saying it 10 years before it happened. How are you going to keep begging America to take over Israel so he can kill the black people in Israel so they can have Israel? That's why they got Israel. So now they still complaining about Ye saying what he's saying. And then about Ye, he said that they called him a stalker when he bought the house next door to his baby mama. If he didn't buy the house next door to his baby mama, he would have been an unfit parent. With them witches, he better had confiscated that house next door. Now, what he needs to do is get a hold of Lori Lightfoot, because we already sent the proposal to confiscate 640 acres of your community to get the snake people out of your homes. Next door, around the corner, they gotta go. They gotta go back to Turkey where they came from. And then they can decide on whether who is anti-Semitic. But if you're on foreign stolen land, don't worry about who's anti-Semitic. Just get the fuck off the land. Go back to Turkey where you came from. And then go ahead and, set up your land and your stuff because you invaded our land. That's the whole thing. See, Kyrie and Ye need to get to that point. Get to this point. Don't forget about the money because they created the money. Leave their money alone. Where is your gold and silver, Ye? Where is your gold and silver, Kyrie? Where you need to start saying that. Hey, you stole my land. Where's the gold and silver? Why don't you focus on that? Don't focus on whether I'm anti-Semitic. Focus on who you are. Who are you coming into here telling me what I am? I've been locked up and enslaved for 200 years that you've been trying to hide from me. Therefore, you're the enemy. So whatever I say, you're going to have to bow down to it. Or get the fuck off the land is what she's saying. Is what her policies is what her law is about. Her tree was cut off. Look at the movie Avatar. Her tree was cut off. We supposed to be living in trees that's higher than the clouds. Go type in Mud Fossil University. Go ahead, type it in. Type in Mud Fossil University. And he will show you that these are tree stumps. Okay, well, the snake people cut it down with their technology, cut it down, and we fell on their level. Now we on their level on third dimension. So now you have people still on third dimension talking about this anti-Semitic bullshit. No, we need to focus on who you are that came invaded our country. We need to focus on that first. First, we need to focus on how did you get here? Okay, so you're Paul Revere's bloodline. The British are coming to do what? What were they coming to? They were coming to kill you for what? Why were they coming to kill you? Oh, because you were crawling on all fours. You came here on shackles and chains. Type it in. The 1830 Treaty Act. That was in 1830. So since then, it said that 640 acres is to every single black person, every single Negro, gingerbread colored person. Where is that? Where's our land? Right? See, we need to focus on that. Don't worry about if you sign your name to Adidas and they cut you off. Excuse me, Adidas is yours. The whole building, the brick and mortar, the materials in it is yours. Where did the materials come from? somebody needs to show a video to Yee and Kyrie Irving to let them understand that what you need to be talking about from now on is who built Adidas building. They did, but where did the materials come from? Did it come from thin air? Did the materials that you use that we're using, the sneakers, where did the materials come from? Did it come from thin air? No, it came from the land that you removed us from. So the materials is ours. If 640 acres is ours to each and every Negro, then that means if we are interested in a news station network and we want to use our platform and you cut us off, guess what? You gotta remove yourself from that building. NBC News, you murdered Ennis. Bill Cosby's son, yeah, you murdered Ennis because he wanted to buy NBC News because NBC News removed us from our homes. So, so don't worry about if Ye is saying this. Worry about who you are. And that time is going towards that revelation of who you are. You're the snake people that removed us and hung us on trees. Okay? Hung us. And then have nerve enough to it never happened. The Holocaust never happened. You've been saying that 10 years prior to you getting killed, 6 million of you dying. Type in David Irving. Go ahead. Type it in. Shit. It never happened. How you gonna say something 10 years before it happened and you keep complaining? And then finally when white snake people, America went to war, knocked off black people out of Israel, put your stank ass in there. Now you there. You're there. You're there in America. You everywhere. Everywhere we turn, we see you slithering and snaking everywhere. And this is what Hitler was saying. Why do you think he came to LA to shut it down? Because you're in there. Why do you think he came to LA to shut it down? I already put the post up there. So how many videos you need to see of me? Show this to Lori Lightfoot so she can pass the law to confiscate your local home. Why should lead be coming out of your water faucet? Why? Spring water should be coming out of your water faucet. But the same people that hung us on trees is inside the mayor's office. That's in your water. That's in your grocery stores. Beyond Meat, that's Chinese, that's Japanese feces. Go ahead, it's just Japanese feces. I just showed you on the other video. See, you have to confiscate your community so you can get the snake people out so you can stop dying by them. Confiscate your building, please, so I can get back to my story.
Are not the only skills of the island women. Some crafted Queen Kalafia's sandals and robes. Others shaped her jewelry and armor. Kalafia generously rewards the women who are expert at building, growing, healing, singing, and charting the stars. The magic island of California is a paradise. Fruit trees and all kinds of useful plants grow abundantly in the valleys and gardens. Not only griffins, but other, more familiar animals live there too. Kalafia is proud of her people, and proud to rule an island of such beauty and magic. This California island paradise is also a natural fortress. The world's wildest cliffs and sharpest rocks surround it. Gold is the only metal found on Queen Kalafia's island, and the waves splash pearls on the beaches below the cliffs. Adventurers heard stories of the island of gold and pearls and tried again and again to find it, but no human has ever landed on the island, or even seen it, because it is forever protected by Kalafia's magic. Mists of invisibility hide it from prying eyes, and if explorers come near the island by accident, driven by storms or ocean currents, the griffin riders smash their ships or chase them away. Humans may foolishly label the island on their maps, but they can never find it, because California floats wherever Queen Kalafia decides it should go. So, I learned this from a few years ago when I tried to read this book and show the pictures at the same time. Silliness, Em. No, you read first, then you show the pictures. Not something they teach you when you're not going to be an elementary school teacher. So here's the queen and her court with her women, and she's sitting on a golden throne. And here's a portrait of her, right, with her gold and pearls and her magic. On the next page, it shows the island itself floating, right? Really similar to what the early Spanish maps look like, by the way. And the warrior women smashing the ships against the rocks so that no one, no human, no man, heard what happened to them when they try and go there. No one would get to their home.
What'd she say?
And that is Calafia's magic. And no man, heard what happened to them when they try and go there. No one would get to their island. And that is Calafia's magic.
Okay, so now you saw that. Now this one right here is Richard Nolan. When you
92%
now Richard Nolan
of the people that say that they are Jews today are in fact Ashkenazi, sons of Gomer, so thereby are the Synagogue of Satan, they who say they are Jews and are not. So who are the real Jews? That's the question that has been posed to me many times over the past months. And there's really two answers to that question. And I'm going to be thorough today because I need to be thorough. Because when you speak about this, it's going to upset a lot of people. So we're going to have to take our time in the scripture. So bear with me. Two answers to that question. One I already addressed in the rotting stick of false restoration and the Synagogue of Satan teaching. And that is, who are the true Jews? Well, I already spoke about that earlier at Sukkot. Even the Ethiopian Jews, they're called the Falashas, meaning those that are black. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my worshippers, the daughters, my dispersed ones. That's the Queen of Sheba and her sons migrated and dispersed to Ethiopia. Lamentations chapter 4 verse 2. The precious sons of Zion are comparable to fine gold. Verse 8. Their visage is blacker than coal. And the concise Oxford English Dictionary, the 10th edition, tells us that visage is a poetic literary of a person's face with reference to the form of their features. A person's facial expression is what? Blacker than coal. You start to connect the language and you start to see. Bereshit, Genesis chapter 9 verse 27. We have got the Ashkenazi sons of Japheth that have infiltrated into the land and are what? They've got the whole world convinced. The whole world convinced that they are sons of Shem. But look what it says in Bereshit chapter 9 verse 27. It actually tells you that Yahweh, who is omnipotent, it is his will because he has actually deceived them into doing this. They are so deceived into doing this. Look at Genesis 9:27. Elohim will entice and deceive. The Hebrew word there is patah. Patah. He will deceive Japheth, Ashkenaz, the sons of Japheth, and he will dwell, that means Ashkenaz will dwell in the tents of the Shemites. Is that what's happening today? Has he deceived the Ashkenazi so much, those from the Russian steppes, the Caucasians, he's deceived them so much that they're actually dwelling in the place where the real Shemites should dwell.
Oh.
Genesis 9 verse 27.
Okay, so, woo, boy, he going in, is he not? Okay, look, just to cut through all of this snake shit, because we can see that there's been some deception for 200 years. Confiscate your building so you can get the snakes up out of your neighborhood. That's all I got to say, sugar. Is it, ooh, Lord, good Lord. It's too juicy for me. I'm going to leave a link on him. You need to find Richard Nolan. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like I told you, didn't I tell you that there are white people that's supposed to be here? They're supposed to tell the truth. They supposed to tell the truth. That we got white people in our family that's going because they know the truth. They know. I'm just saying. There's white people that have to tell the truth. I'm just saying. Just just type in David Irving. He's another one. Blue-eyed white boy. He the one that said that it never happened. The Holocaust never happened. It didn't. It didn't. Because they were saying it 10 years before it happened, complaining to the U.S. Kill the black people in Israel so why we could take over the land. Then when they did that, the Arabs took over our land. That's why there is no peace. There's never been peace since they removed, when the Arabs moved us from out of our land. When he's talking about Ethiopia, he talking about the Arabs. Mussolini went in and got some of the Arabs to kill Ethiopia. Hitler got his army to kill Mussolini's people that removed the Israelites. He got a black army. He got black people in his army. Type it in. Yeah. Type in Hitler's army. It's two sides. I keep telling you, it's two sides to every story. You got to look at two sides to every story. Hitler was going to bring in his army to bring the people back to the land that was stolen. Then he came here and that's why he went to Hollywood and tried to rip off Hollywood and say, hey, we're trying to rip a new asshole out of Hollywood, saying you better tell the truth. You got the jewelries right here. Yeah, I have the Hitler book right there. The Hitler book that's going like that. Yeah, look in that book. It's in Amazon. Buy it. He's telling us that we are the real jewelry. We're the real Jews. That's what I'm saying. There's no such thing as Jewish. Either you're a Jew or you're not. Whoopi Goldberg, her last name Goldberg. Oh man, that's the real Jew. If you really, I don't care if she a coon or not. I'm not saying, and I'm not saying this to be mean. You know, like when I said the Holocaust never happened, I'm not saying that to be mean. You have to type in David Irving. You have to type in this dude right here. Yeah, this right here.
These night shifts.
The interview that he had with this man in some Arab country.
Hey,
the Arab countries are saying, no, it never happened. The Holocaust never happened. They've been begging for Israel to fight and get rid of. They've been begging to go to war with Israel to remove the black people out of Israel to put they white stank ass there. They succeeded. So when we say,
if they choose to recognize Israel,
see right here.
In Geneva, and they wonder whether you really do want a better relationship with the West when you deny that there was a Holocaust, when it's an established historical fact.
Now, this lizard, this is a snake man. Always remember that. This is a snake man. He'll say, when you know it's an historical fact. It's not an historical fact when it comes out of Europe. When it comes out of a snake's mouth, it's no fact at all. It's a lie. This man, a president from Iran, he's the president of Iran. He's saying, why are you lying? It never happened. Your people who were the one that went into Israel and killing the black people in there to move them in there to bring your stank white ass there. Now you're there. You're in Israel. You're in Britain. You're in Jamaica. You're trying to get to Haiti. What you going into Haiti for? But now you're trying to go into Haiti because there's nowhere for you to run. Because Russia got South America and Cuba. So why are you trying to take Haiti? Stay right where you at. You don't need to go to Haiti. Stay right where you at. Since you so big and bad, stay right where you at. Why are you trying to run in Haiti? Ain't no but military. You got the military right here. You got a military might in every state. Why can't you stay where you at and take what's coming to you?
They believe that you're not showing respect for the West and the beliefs of the West.
When I was talking against the Zionist regime in the racism conference, the first proviso for a successful talk.
Okay, to make the long story short, he would be considered as ye. You won't let him talk. He's telling you, why won't you let me speak? There's two sides to every story. Why is it that only white people in America can only speak when they're the biggest lizards in the fucking world, and you won't let the other side speak? How come you won't let Hitler speak? Why you won't let him talk? He was saying the same shit we've been saying. His family was killed by the snake people. They killed they didn't hang him on trees, but they imprisoned his whole family. He went to war for nothing, he said. Damn near got blinded. He went on drugs. He got himself on drugs and was hooked on drugs because he was in pain from the war that was never supposed to happen, he said. Hitler said this. So when you talk about only the West side, then you're talking about only the snakes side, only the reptilian side. You have to look at two sides to every story.
To give the other party the freedom to speak. Mr. Obama has the right to have his own opinion, obviously. He is ready to express his points of view. But the Geneva Conference had been organized to combat racism, to oppose racism. My point of view is that the Zionist regime is the manifestation of racism.
Yet when you speak of that,
he said it's the manifestation of racism. The Zionist regime is the manifestation of racism, which made Hitler be like, "Oh my God, the hypocrisy of it all," because the Zionists came in there and killed his family and his people. Why do you think he did what he did? Because he knows that because he said it. It came out of his mouth. He said that there are snake people slithering, disguised as human, and they're not. Hitler and his people said that on stage, that he's trying to warn people, hey, you got people that are not human. So this man that's interviewing him, he's not human. He's not human. The man that's interviewing him, that's why I don't want to let him speak and say nothing else, because he don't deserve to say nothing else. So let's leave it at that. So anyway, let's get back to, I'll leave a link, but I wanted to get back to Kalafia, because that's what really the main topic was.
Okay, boys and girls, it's story time.
Well, we already heard story time already.
Today, we're going to be reading part of California, the Magic Island.
Okay, we'll get back to it in a minute. Now.
The story we're going to hear.
Okay, now, what we have to get back to is the reality of things. We have to confiscate our buildings. Yes. All you're going to do is that, all we're going to do is that we're going to get a hold of, what am I saying? If you want to, you can show Lori Lightfoot the video to show her how we have been infiltrated and taken over, and we have to confiscate our home where we live, and the building across the street or around the corner where we live at, okay? So that we can have our community for ourselves. We already know what's going on around us, right? We already know that there's snake people that took over our communities. We know this. Now we have to confiscate our buildings, okay? Our home, starting with our home first. Now, I already did the proposal with Lori Lightfoot, the Chicago mayor who started the Safety Act, which is really good because the Safety Act allows you to confiscate your home. Listen, you have a right to confiscate your community because you have been removed. A crime has been committed in your life. You did not know that snake people were killing you by them making you pay rent, food, and water on your own land. Not only that, but the food in the grocery stores are not healthy, and the water is not healthy. So you have to confiscate the water and power plant to make sure running spring water is coming through your faucet. 640 acres is yours. You confiscate your community. Now, I sent the proposal to Lori Lightfoot to add the services to the Safety Act law is what I'm saying. So this proposal will be added to the Safety Act law. You just say, hey, you can email Lori Lightfoot. You say, hey, Catherine Irvin, she sent you, oh, it's my daughter, Cinnamon, I'll talk to you later. Sorry, she just popped up right there. Okay. So Lori Lightfoot has the proposal. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, she has a proposal. She's indigenous to the land. That's why I say Lori Lightfoot already knows that she has to contact Governor Gavin Newsom, who made that NBC News feed about the reparation task force. I filled out the $4 trillion application fee that would provide this service. It pays for everything. If you confiscate a building across the street or down the street, whatever, and you want to make your own designer tennis shoes or hats or whatever, you know, your Adidas shoes, you want to make your own Adidas, your own shoes. Name it. You don't have to say Adidas, but whatever shoes, right? You want to confiscate the building to live on top of your floor. You have your lounge in the, you know, maybe third floor, and then you have your business on the first floor, right? So you have your life right here, right? Well, we would accommodate fixing that for you. We accommodate you. So it could be a vacant building. Well, we give you the financial backing for that to make whatever building you want it to be a reality for you. And that's what the $4 trillion is for. Is to pay for all of this, for you to have your safety locksmith. You just find the property of your. Let's say YouTube kicked you off your channel. It's like, well, you know what? There's like 120 of them around the United States. You can just confiscate one of them. I'm going to get the one in California and Chicago. Yeah, that's going to be mine. Now, they can be there or not. It doesn't matter. You call the safety locksmith. He says, yes, a crime has been committed. I want this building. Okay, what is it? It's a YouTube building or whatever building it is. You know, because they keep kicking me off of my channel. And I need to have my own platform. It's very important that I have my own platform. They have over 100 studios. Surely they can give me one, since 640 acres is mine. And these white people who call themselves Jewish when they're not Jewish. No, you're white. You're from Yugoslavia, white man from America that's calling yourself a Jew. You're not a Jew. You're not Jewish. Indigenous brown people are only Jew, or indigenous Nietzsche, or indigenous warriors, whatever you want to. We are that. You're just the white man or white woman, Karen, Becky, from Russia. You're indigenous to Russia, Bulgaria, Caucasus Mountains. That's where you're from. You're not from here. So don't worry about what Yi or Kyrie or whatever. If he signs his name to anything, you got to bow down to him, literally, because he is the landlord of his land. You have to literally speak to us as my lord, my lady. Yes, the owner of NBC News, the owner of NBC, the basketball thing, the owner of the Adidas, that they have to address ye as my lord. The prisoner guard that have Larry Hoover in there, they have to hand him back. If you do the confiscation, Larry Hoover got to get out. He got to get out. He got to get out of prison right away. They got to hand him the keys because he's indigenous to his land. And who are these people that's locking him up? The same ones that won't let nobody speak. Why won't you let us speak? Why won't you let us talk? If this is our land, we have a right to confiscate the building that's telling us we have. Listen, if a reporter, take Candace Diaz, Candace Owens, for instance. She's into Congress and she's into the reporter, news reporting. That is her building. She can literally take over Congress. It's hers. It's her building. 640 acres is hers. That's what she needs to start talking about, because she's saying all the right things right now. Now she is. Because I told you before, my videos are about the future. It's for the future of what they're going to have, what's going to happen. They're becoming aware. Now you have people who were once coons becoming aware. Oh my God. We're being run over by some snake people. Yeah, not a minute. Welcome to the party. Not a minute too soon, I might add. Jeez. Now they're finally, Yi and, no, that's right. Yi and Kyrie, they're just now figuring that out, that they're not really human. Because Yi figured out that his ex-wife is connected with Hillary Clinton. He just figured that out. It's like, yeah, they're all connected. That's why you have to confiscate not only the house next door, you got to confiscate that whole 640 acres where you live. And you got to get them lizards up out of your community. Yes, you do, Yi, Kyrie. You have to get your own community. So what you do is you go to Lori Lightfoot. Hey, hi, Lori. Catherine gave you the proposal to start confiscating the buildings based on the Safety Act law that would allow any person the age of 60, especially if you're in foster care and you're in the snake lair. Oh, Lord, poor kid. woe to the children that are involved in this damn snake system. We got to rescue our babies. We got to get them out of there. My company specializes in the development of the promised land. I am the promised land creator. They were kicking me off the YouTube channel. Why do you think I said we have to confiscate these buildings? Because why would you kick me off my platform? And I'm the creator of the... Listen, I'm here to cross people over into the promised land. Why would you kick me off my platform? Because you're a snake. And when you do that, you make yourself even more obvious. That's what made me do the property confiscation, because you're out of control. YouTube, Google, you're out of control, really. I have a right to speak. 640 acres is ours, and guess what? We are where we're supposed to be, but you're not. You're not where you're supposed to be. Time is going by ever so fast. It's going by fast to where you got to go. Yeah, you got to get the hell out, because let me tell you something. 640 acres is ours. By law, the Safety Act says that any person who is indigenous to the land have a right to defend themselves. We have to defend ourselves. We have that right. We have that right to defend ourselves. Now, don't we? Yes, we do. So we're confiscating our home. Now that's to stop paying rent, because it's an abomination for anybody that you're indigenous. You have to put that law to white people, Mexican, Chinese. They're supposed to pay the rent, okay? They're supposed to pay the rent because they're not indigenous to the land. They do. Not the indigenous people, not Dane Calloway, not nobody that look like us is supposed to pay rent or food and water. No, none of us supposed to pay for that. That's an abomination. That's why you snake people are being exposed. Because every day we wake up, it's a crime being committed. You talking about the Holocaust. We live in a Holocaust every single day, because there are people like me being... I got an eviction. Where's that? Here, right here. Right here. Eviction, right here. Eviction notice on my, here, eviction. I got an eviction notice. See that? That says eviction. Look at all this lie saying that I owe this money. I don't even pay rent. How do I pay rent? I'm on low income housing. I don't pay rent. Bitch, don't put on all kind of different shit that I owe this money. I ain't never paid rent. That happened 3 months ago. Why? Because I bid it for the acre of land, right? 7 acres of land. I bid it for this land so I can create the promised land. Right? The promised land, so that we can actually have this. Yeah, we will actually have this land back. It's our land. To have trees to where we can actually live inside the trees. I'm trying to build it right here. Build the first promised land right here, so that the people who are in prison, that's not supposed to be in prison, can come out and build the promised land. Let's talk about Larry Hoover. When we talk about Larry Hoover, we talk about an innocent man in prison. You have an innocent man in prison. Ye had told Trump to look into the situation. You got an innocent man in prison, and Trump didn't look into it. You want to know why he didn't look into it? Now, we have to be truthfully honest here, because that's what I'm all about. When they say, I'm not Wonder Woman. I am her lasso, the one that wraps around you and makes you tell the truth. I'm her. I can't help it. Ask me anything. Go ahead. Okay. Trump's father is the one that removed us from our homes. You know that Mar-a-Lago home that he's in? That's ours. That's our home. Yes, he's with the urban renewal commissioner. I'll leave a link. Trump's father was the one who helped remove us from our home. That's why he's so involved in our shit. And I was trying to figure out, why you all in our business but you don't help? When you said drain the swamp, you ain't drained shit. Because if you was really draining some shit, the first person would have went to prison would be John Durham and Bill Barr, because they're the ones that locked up Larry Hoover and everybody. They went in with Hillary. Why you think that he had to not be president no more? Because if he mentioned Larry Hoover getting out and do an investigation, they would have to lock up Bill Barr and John Durham. That's why I'm saying they wouldn't even look at Hillary. In fact, I don't want Hillary to go to Gitmo. I want her to stay right where she at. None of them should be able to go to Gitmo. I think that they should stay where they at. all the criminals to stay right where they at. Just allow us to confiscate our communities, our 640 acres, and then we will decide who should be in those buildings or not in our neighborhood. So if it's YouTube that's coming through your TV screen, you can confiscate that building. We say, well, a Google building is not in your area. If it's coming through my TV screen, it's in my area. It's in my living room. So you can confiscate that building. But I'm talking about like a police officer building, a police building that's bothering you. You confiscate that building right away. A locksmith will come. Security locksmith will come and change the locks. Whoever in that building, they won't even be in the building. Obviously, if the locks are changed, they won't be in there. They would have to transfer themselves to another police station outside of the 640 acres that you live. That would accommodate, that's what I'm saying, the reparation accommodate their relocation. So let's say ye have a problem with all those white people owning his company line of Adidas, because that's his company line. Whatever he's interested in, that's his. So those are not Jewish people; those are white people from Khazars, from the Synagogue of Satan. Just say Synagogue of Satan people. They're the Synagogue of Satan people from Russia, Caucasus Mountain, Russia. They would have to go back there and establish their establishment there, because here is where they established Adidas that ye is interested in. Therefore, it's ye's business. If they don't like it, they can get the fuck off our land. That's what the whole point is. That's what the Safety Act is about. You have to save yourself. You have to grow a back spine, grow some courage, and say, hey, this is my land. 640 acres is mine according to your United States Commissioners Treaty Act. You the one said it. You forced the treaty upon us, and then and then had us to have our own land, and then gonna move us from our land. How you gonna have a treaty, remove us from our land, and then remove us more and more and more to where we're like, wow, you guys really got to get the fuck off. You just got to get out of America. You got to go back to where you came from. You didn't come from here. You begged white people here to go in and steal Israel for you, to steal Israel. You stole it. So you're not from here. You're from Yugoslavia, from the Slavic region. Slav. Yeah. That's where y'all from. Okay. Well, do some research. You need to go back there. We have to confiscate our buildings so you could just, you snake people can get a life, because we already had one before you came here, remember? See? Before you came here, we this was us. We were flying on griffins before you came here. This was a tree. But you snake people cut it down, and we fell. We fell. When we fell, we landed on your third level. We were in 7th, 8th, 9th level flying. But you cut it off. Go ahead. If you don't believe me that you are written in the storybooks, let's talk about who's written in the storybooks. Let's talk about who's written in the Bible.
All about.
Okay, type in Never Ending Story, 1994 Never Ending Story. Type that in. Type that movie and watch the movie. If you ever seen the 1994 Never Ending Story, I would be the queen, and Atreyu would be Yi and Kyrie and people like that. They have to say my name. Yeah, watch that, man. You better watch that movie. Watch Never Ending Story. That is you right now. Heather, hi Heather Washington. How you doing? That's the real Mary Magdalene. She's on my YouTube. I talked to her on my comment section. I discovered that the people in the Bible, the people in the Apocrypha, please watch. Get the book. Get the Apocrypha book. I'm telling you, it's us. It's us. This is the book Apocrypha. This is about. Now they took this out of the Bible. Why? Because the females were the pharaohs. The females were ruling. We were flying on griffins. Females had wings. We really had wings, and we were flying. Well, this is in the Apocrypha, and this is our return. So I'm just saying, Um, doesn't this look like me? Yeah. I'm trying to find an illustrator that can do an illustration of me. So whoever illustrate this book, that illustrated her, please call me because I don't know who illustrate this illustration. Um, it's on this right here is on Black Sands, but this I don't think this person drew her. So whoever drew her, please do me too. I would like to do do a little illustration of myself, since I am her, you know. I know I am because I believe in what she's saying. They said, well, she killed men. No, she killed snake people. She killed snake people because there's no way that she did not kill men. There's no way. I wouldn't. No, I mean, snake people, yeah, you got it. Well, they just wouldn't be in my community. They can't be in our community. And when you look at this, see, look at how they chopped down the trees. You see this? See, they chopped our trees down. Davy Crockett, Daniel Boone, them giant people that got Davy Crockett, and they vilified those people. They vilified Brass Reeves. They cut down our trees. See, they cut down our trees. They cut it down. Okay, our trees are cut down. Okay, so we have to get back to our stuff. Look at how they made the dams break. Now, did you know that Los Angeles Los Angeles airport had a river running through it? Yeah, they had a river running through Manchester. They have rivers running through all of our. See, that's what I'm saying. When I say we have to confiscate our community, we have to lift up the concrete and let the rivers run through. We have to build huge trees, and we're going to get back to living inside the trees or on top of the trees, how we used to live inside the trees. They were huge. These trees, the mountains that you see, well, imagine those being tree stumps. Well, obviously we lived inside the trees. Those were our homes. Well, when we lived on top of those homes, on top of the trees, the snake people got jealous and they literally cut down the trees and we fell on their level. That's why, you can see in the Romans how they squeezed us to death. They became us. They wanted to be like the Most High. So I want to thank Lauren. She is a Taurus. I'm an Aries, and we're both, contacting Lori Lightfoot. And it's just really ironic because we was talking about how the signs are really coming through. Where I'm an Aries, Lauren is a Taurus, and she went to the Chicago meeting. The Chicago meeting was Thursday. It's very important. If you guys, it's very important that you contact Lori Lightfoot because it's not just her, but it's the whole Chicago, Illinois that passed that safety law. Well, I sent the proposal. Lauren, who's a Taurus, we both sent the proposal, and she's the one Lauren lives in Chicago, and she had the meeting with her family in the city council with Lori Lightfoot. That's why I'm saying, contact Lori Lightfoot and say, yes, we approve Catherine's property confiscation. We would like to confiscate our building too. So that means that if she approves it, because you guys let her know, you got to let her know when she approves it, because you let her know, then the property confiscation service will be here in California, and it will be in Chicago where Lauren is at. So see, and we'll start it in Chicago, California, where people will be able to pick up their papers. It'll be a paper where it's sticky. It's going to be sticky where you can put it right on your door. The building that you choose. You call the locksmith, they come right out, and you don't do anything else. You just have to be there. You got to be there because the locksmith will handle everything else. They have the security. They make sure to contact the people that used to stay there, even a real estate agent. We already confiscate the building. You got to take that L. There's the key. They have the keys. You can't. There's an order of protection around the property. You can't come near there unless they say so, and that's it. So there's an order of protection on the building that you confiscate. Confiscated to turn it into the promised land. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to turn it into the promised land, your personal community, because you want to travel in 7 to 13 different promised land areas. Each gingerbread colored person like myself will be able to receive one free JETSUNS. The JETSUNS is patented to fly like the jets. That's why it's called the JETSUNS. That's why I say I'm her, because if she spliced this, listen, I have the JETSUNS. I patent the JETSUNS for it to fly. Okay, for it to actually fly. Of course, we're gonna do some tests, but for now, you're just gonna get a brand new RV to travel from 13 to 7 Promised Land areas, California, Chicago, and all over, to see your family in the area, and the trees and the land and the dirt and the ground and mountains we never seen before, and when and travel with our family and our tribes and get to know people, and to get away from all of this snake bullshit that's going on, that was placed upon us, right? Plymouth Rock landed on us. Okay, let me get off this video. It's a whole hour. It's just too juicy for me. I'm just saying, this is me. I am the return of Empress Kalafia. That's me. And there's many women like me, but it's best that if you are her, help us confiscate the building so we can move, and we don't have to pay no more rent. No, we don't have to answer to anybody. We get our gold and silver back. We get our gold, our resources back. You can confiscate. I will. The Smithsonian Museum is yours. It's got our resources in it. All of us can confiscate our material resources. We just have to come together and get with Lori Lightfoot. Say, hey, I'm with Catherine Irvin. She's the creator of the Promised Land, and we're here to confiscate our 640 acres. Our 640 acres is ours. She's real. She didn't go nowhere. I'm here. Books have been written about me. Tell your friends about me. See? Yes. See? So we have to be who we are. Watch the movie Never Ending Story. When you see the boy Atreyu, you will understand and know that if the right people don't call upon the person that can get you to the Promised Land, you doomed. You have to call upon me, support people like me. If somebody's saying what I'm saying, then support her. But if you can, if I'm the only one saying what I'm saying, then we have to confiscate our properties within our 640 acres. That is the United States Commissioner's idea that they did that to us. Then we confiscate our buildings. We are in the Promised Land. We can only go up from here. We can only go from 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th from here. Dimension from here. We can only go up. We can't go down because we're already down. They knocked us off our trees, right? Okay. So if you can find her, let me know. Tell your friends about me. I am the return of Queen Kalafia. Yes. And we're going to get back to the trees. Remember now, Mud Fossil University, he telling the truth. These were, we lived in the trees. And they were, and we're going to get back to that, So we're going to be traveling with our family and friends. Each and every person is entitled to their 640 acres with their RV motorhome coach. Top of the line. It is within the proposal that I gave to Lori Lightfoot. She has to pass it with Governor Gavin Newsom, where I signed the application. $4 trillion pays for everything that I just told you. Each person get their RV motorhome coach to travel into 7 to 13 Promised Land areas in your area in each state, every single state, yes. And we will be able to also get with Haiti. There's women and children and men that want to travel with us because that's what we used to do. In Jamaica, in Ireland, in Ethiopia, we used to travel. Yes, we did, and that's just what we used to do before the white people who's from Turkey and Russia came in and stole Israel. Remember now, they stole Israel. Before that, they were begging 10 years prior to some Holocaust happening, which never happened. Well, you might say, well, is it prisoner of war? Yeah, they're prisoner of war. Every prisoner of war. You're gonna take pictures, yeah, but then they labeled Holocaust. No. You killed the people in Israel and stole their land. So see, and you keep doing that. You keep doing that over and over again. You keep assassinating our character when we speak out. So now it's time for just to confiscate the buildings. We confiscating our property. We're in our right? Okay. So you guys can share my video. I know it's long, but you can cut pieces of, and you can make this into Instagram. You can just cut pieces of this video because it's really long, but I have to make it lengthy so that people can see the whole thing. And then, then you can just cut snips and pieces to Instagram. So people on my Telegram, please, you can use my video to cut snips and pieces of it and then put it on Instagram and then show it as this. Okay, we're going to confiscate our properties. Yes, we are, because no matter what they say about us, whether we're anti this or anti that, it doesn't matter. They are not supposed to be in our property. They're not supposed to be in our land dictating who we are. This is our property. If they don't like it, they can leave. Like I'm saying, they can go back to where they came from. No white, Chinese, Mexican, Arab is from America or South America. They're not from here. If they don't like it, they can go. Okay. And they will go because we're confiscating our property. All right. So, thank you, and I'll talk to you later.